Spawned in a brew of primordial stew, christened in fountains of slime, smile on his face as he gobbles up space and claws through the forces of time. He's crawled from the dark of the bottomless pit, compelled by the power of sin. His flesh has been charred on a slow-turning spit, wears a roadmap to hell on his skin. Planted his seed in the Garden of Eden, befriended the whispering snake. Hard to believe, but he made time with Eve. He's the demon named Thaddeus Blake. Restless at birth, so he headed for Earth, riding on top of a comet. Reckless indeed as he whipped at his steed till he finally had to embalm it. Came to a stop with a bang and a plop, rolled till the fire was out. Shook off the ash from his clamorous crash, then he lit up a shadow of doubt. He wandered around on the volcanic ground, danced when it started to shake, went into his act when the firmament cracked as a poet called Thaddeus Blake. Right there and then he picked up a pen, just to keep track of his thoughts. A plot did unfold that he felt should be told, so he started connecting the dots. He learned pretty quick that the truth is a trick, a ghostly, elusive illusion. It soon became clear that some terror quite sheer could arise from this glut of confusion. He tried on disguises, uncovered surprises. His senses were coming awake. The words did compile Necronomicon style from the pen of one Thaddeus Blake. Evil ideas from terrible places birthed up to start his collections. Straight razor killers with skeletal faces popped up for closer inspections. Mummified guests take their seats at the table, rotting in silence while dinner is served. Axe-wielding maniacs willing and able pickle their victims to keep them preserved. Corpses rebound and they crawl from the ground in time for some coffee and cake. Pirates from Mars sail a brig through the stars with his nibs, Captain Thaddeus Blake. A myopic cyclops, some three-headed dogs, and all sorts of slithery alien critters. Coked up tarantulas, 30-ton frogs, monsters in closets eat babies and sitters. Under the bed is a villain, undead, just waiting for ankles to seize. Dragging his prey to a cell far away, and the devil is holding the keys. Perverted priests and cannibal feasts, mixing the real with the fake. It soon did appear there was something to fear in the stories of Thaddeus Blake. Kids were enthralled, so a meeting was called. Something would have to be done. An evil verse writer, a brimstone igniter, was dealing in blasphemous fun. Causing disruption, fomenting corruption, his words were offensive and galling. The latest research says he farted in church and the noise was depraved and appalling. They thought execution would be the solution. He needs to be burned at the stake. So they murdered a witch, one bad son of a bitch, with the handle of Thaddeus Blake. The flames soon abated once he was cremated. The ashes were placed in a jar. Mischievous minions with shady opinions then carted them off in a car, taking great pains with the crunchy remains, as though they were those of a saint. His portrait they wanted. The ashes were haunted, and so they were mixed with the paint. The artist had skills and some tiny white pills, worked days without taking a break, to give us a peek at a villainous freak with the picture of Thaddeus Blake. The portrait was hidden, display was forbidden. One look would be risking damnation. stored in a box with some booby-trapped locks to discourage the standard temptation. Preachers advised it should be exorcised, ensuring the bastard was banished. Rumors abound, but it couldn't be found. It seemed to have totally vanished. Experts maintain that a carnival train carted it off by mistake, rolled like a stone into places unknown with the secret of Thaddeus Blake. An entrepreneur on the carnival tour discovered the mythical painting. The booby-trap latches made punctures and scratches. His bleeding soon led to his fainting. After some stitches, he planned to make riches. He'd offer a glance for a price. He planned to debut, yes, he'd give them a view. Just a minute or two should suffice. I learned of his caper by reading the paper. With interest, I planned to partake in getting a peek at such artwork unique, the exhibit of Thaddeus Blake. The playhouse shook under some lightning and thunder. The ceiling was riddled with leaks. The crowd that awaited was feeling elated, so full of affection for freaks. The curtain was raised and the painting appraised. The thing got resounding applause. The ceiling went poof when a bolt hit the roof and some flames went to work for the cause. Some audience members were roasted to embers. Others did smoke overtake. I'm the lone blessed bloke who did not burn or choke at the viewing of Thaddeus Blake. Shaken and singed, more than slightly unhinged, my body and face had been scarred. My hospital stay was a morphine soiree, a mindfuck in every regard. The trauma and pain put a hex on my brain, a savage and secret surprise. Highly concerned 'cause an image is burned of a demon I've seen with my eyes. Inside my head is a voice from the dead, a cluster of whispers that ache. An evil return 'cause it's not fully burned. It's the spirit of Thaddeus Blake. And so, now I write, as is only polite. It's tough when you're blessed with a curse. Always in need for somebody to read my poisoned and perilous verse. My story may seem like some psychotic dream. Some of my stories are awful. Some of them tell of a slow ride to hell. The rest should be labeled unlawful. My soul's been ignited, contented, excited. Such mischief I'm happy to make. I'll never be rid of his words from the id, 'cause they're written by Thaddeus Blake.